Richardson and Mark Clemens here with 485 Sports Report, joined today with Athletic Director at Julius Chambers High School, Carlos Richardson. For those of you that may not recognize that name, that is the old Vance High School. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. Mark and Coach Richardson are going to talk about some of the things that we've seen and how the school is in the process of changing and adapting to the new name, as well as the expectations for the upcoming sports year. Vance had one of his best sports years in a while, and we expect that to continue as Chambers High School here this year. So with that, I will turn it over to Mark Clemens of 485 Sports.
Well, thanks a lot, Jay, and we appreciate that. Coach Richardson, as always, we appreciate you working with us. You're always one of the most cooperative athletic directors we work with, and I would be amiss if I didn't say that. We do appreciate all your time and what you do for the kids at the school and from across the area. I'll tell you a quick story before we get started, Coach. We were over at East Mac a couple weeks ago, and I told somebody, well, we're going to talk to the athletic director over at Julius Chambers. And the guy said, Julius Chambers, where's that at? And I said, well, you know, Vance. And this is somebody within the school system that, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So I know it's a great thing that's happening for the school, but it's also a big challenge for the people who are promoting the school. And kind of take us through what's happened over the last few months. And I know some exciting things are going on.
Yeah. Well, actually, we will still be Vance this year. So we won't be officially Julius Chambers until July of the end of the school year, July of next year. But yeah, man, it's kind of been a roller coaster of a ride. Won the state championship under Vance. Then, with all the things going on in society, they, decided to change the name from Vance, and it was three options. It was Vance High School, it was Julius Chambers, it was University City, and it was Queen City High School. And, so we kind of told the kids, guys, I highly doubt it that they're going to name us Queen City after the entire city of Charlotte. But, hey, go for it, whatever. So once they decided upon the name, man, it's just kind of right now, we're just in the planning phases of looking at different logos and uniforms and, that type of deal. So it's a lot of things in the air right now.
Yeah, Coach, of course, for some of our viewers and listeners, Julius Chambers, a civil rights leader from right here in Charlotte, he had one of the most famous lawsuits probably in our area, started in 1965 with the lawsuit, carries it all the way to the Supreme Court in 1971 that eventually desegregates schools in the Charlotte area, and a very persistent and constant voice for positive change in the area. And I think that's one of the reasons why folks are so excited about Mr. Chambers' name being on this school. And I know that's something your community around, quote, Vance is probably bought into very heavily.
Yeah, once our kids really wanted the name University City. But once they found out that our name was going to be Julius Chambers, and they, started to do a little research on the name change, they started to realize, like, hey, man, this is a good dude. This is someone that a name we can really get behind. And so, it's going to have to be a little educating on our part as adults to, fans and our kids, to really let them know what that name stands for. And he still has family members, kids, right in our zone that we've met and want to come over to talk to the kids about what their father stood for. And so, like I said, it's a good thing right now.
And I know what Mr. Chambers' name comes up often when you're talking about positive change, and that's one of the things I think that's very, very good about this. Zebulon Vance, the name Zebulon Vance, I'm really kind of puzzled as why in 1997 that name actually got attached to the school. Someone who had been out of the public light for 100 years, and I guess that's something you and I probably just don't even want to discuss, is it? But,
well, I mean, and when I first got to Vance, again, did a little research, and I was like, man, why would they name this our school after this guy? But I mean, once you're in the school that never really went by Zebulon, only kind of went by Vance. So that label wasn't necessarily attached to us. But yeah, I always wondered, like, who sat on that board to say, yeah, this is a good name.
I could understand if someone in North Buncombe, because Zebulon Vance from Weaverville, North Carolina, or Red Creek.
Yeah.
He's very well known, an attorney in the area, and did some good things, bad things that taint his name, and that's the reason why you want to take it off the school. But it just didn't seem like Charlotte, North Carolina was the place for Zebulon Vance's name, and I think I'm going to take us into the weeds here. So let's move back to what's going on. But the kids have taken to it very well. You talked about the end of the school. It's going to take a long time to kind of do the, I guess, the marketing, the rebranding. Tell us where we are in that sort of stance right now.
Well, right now, we're waiting on the school district to give us some logo ideas. We'll bounce some things back off. We'll, just tell them what we like, what we don't like, what we're thinking about. And this year we're going to get away from the V, and we're going to go into the paw print.
Okay.
So everything we'll get this year will have the paw print on it, just to kind of phase us out, of the V and moving into the new direction. But I mean, it's going to be it kind of took us a while to get people to understand when they saw the Vance or the V on our chest. Initially, it was, hey, is that UVA? Is that Virginia? So that was a process as well. So now when they see the V, they automatically think Vance. So we just want to keep winning, keep, being positive in the community. And eventually that same thing will happen with, whatever our logo is for Julius Chambers.
Coach, do you have students involved in creating the logo? I know that there's some creative things you could do with cougars and paw prints and a C for cougars.
Yeah. So we'll have kids to be involved in it, teachers, all the stakeholders, the community. So we'll have buy-in from everyone before we decide what that logo will be.
Coach, when we last had Cougars athletics, I believe March the 6th was the last time that we did a game, and we actually had a Cougars game with the women winning the regionals and, of course, eventually being awarded the state championship. Kind of take us through what's happened since then. What have your athletes been doing, and what have they been doing to get ready for an academic and athletic season?
Well, our culture is one of it's a competitive culture, so our kids, they really want to work hard. They really want to be around people like them. So they've kind of taken it upon themselves when we were in quarantine, not able to do anything, to get together in small groups and work out at their houses. And we Zoomed with them a lot. So, I think they did their end on the front end. So now we're coming into where we can have small groups in the gym, groups on the field. So we're picking up just like this is essentially summertime, and they're working out and getting ready to roll.
We're talking with Athletic Director Carlos Richardson from Vance and soon to be Julius Chambers High School here on the 485 Sports Report. Coach, very successful season last year, winning championships in football and basketball, and men's basketball very close. We were down at Olympic when that was just one of the best ball games we've seen all year, and coming up a little short. But how do you follow up a season like you had a year ago?
Well, the goal this year is we want to do something no one's ever done. We want to win 3 state titles. We want to win in football, which we think that we're fully loaded again and capable of doing it. We want to do the same thing in girls basketball. We returned 4 starters and, want to do that as well. In basketball, we lost 2 major pieces. We lost our 2 freshman point guards that probably would have given us that edge, but we have some young guys stepping right in, and we're going to surprise a lot of people in basketball. So the goal is to win 3 this year and do something that no one's ever done.
Coach, that would be outstanding. I know that would get everybody all pumped up, but it's a tough road and a little bit of an uncertainty. Kind of tell us where your seasons are going to begin, how things. I guess volleyball is up first.
Yep. We had a scrimmage yesterday in volleyballs, to kind of work out the kinks and see what's going on there. Our first game's coming up next week. Football and basketball, those are still, uncertain situations. But, I've kind of taken the attitude of, control the controllable. And we're preparing just like we're going to play. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, hey, we're still the state champs for football and basketball. We're just like I said, just play the cards we've been dealt.
Coach, I know that some of the student athletes that we've talked to recently, some are making the decision maybe to focus on one sport or another. Are you going to have some issues with scheduling that it may force some athletes to do that?
We want our kids, if they want to play 2, we want them to play 2. Right now, our coaches are working together to, work out practice schedules and whatnot, just so they can be able to practice, with teams when the season starts. The hard part will be game time situations. It'll be pretty tough to play a basketball game and then turn right around and play a football game that Friday. So we don't know what that looks like. We don't know if kids will have to, if we have a football game on a Friday and a basketball game in the playoffs, of course, they'll have to choose which one they'll need to play at. And it's just going to be playing it by ear, Doc. Don't know. Really don't know.
Well, it's one of those, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right, Coach?
Yeah. Let's just, like I tell our coaches, if that's a problem that we want to have, but the only way we have that problem is if we win. If we don't win in basketball, that's not a problem we'll even have to worry about. So I hope we have that problem.
Coach, I do too. It's good to have problems like that. The worst problem is if you're worrying about how you can get to those playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Coach, we don't want to take up too much of your time today, but I know that with the way the pandemic is going and way you don't have any gates revenue. What can someone do if they want to help Vance Julius Chambers High School? What can they do to help you? Is there some way they can make donations, or do you have any kind of promotions going on? Anything like that right now?
Absolutely, man. And that's something that we're going to have to depend on. We're going to really have to depend on our community and people around us to help us to make donations and, kind of give the kids that experience that we want them to have. So right now, our football team, we're running a online donation fund, and I can send you guys that link.
Yeah, send that to us, Coach. Yeah.
All right, and they can go to our website and click on the link to donate. Our volleyball team's doing the same thing. But they can always mail in checks to our school and label it Vance Athletic Booster Club, and it goes directly towards our athletic departments to help our kids and our coaches. So, there's tons of ways they can give anything.
Coach, I know that it would be appreciated too. I remember going out last summer. I think I was going over down toward IKEA, and I see the marching band from Vance High School playing on the corner, basically with a hat in hand, and people, making donations played on the street corner to help their program. And I know sometimes that's what it takes. Yeah,
they cause traffic jams over there, man. They jam.
They were playing well, Coach. They were very much into it. I said, well, please stay on the sidewalk, kids. Don't get out in the street. But they were really playing well, and it's just does your heart good to see somebody who's willing to get out there and work for what they need and what they want. And Coach, what else do we need to know about Vance Julius Chambers High School, Coach?
at the heart, man, we'll still be the same school, same community. You know, we have a lot of, you know, Vance grads who are upset about that situation, but, you know, we're still the Cougars. We're still in the university area, and we're going to bring it every night. Same thing.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you taking time. I know you've got lots to do, and you probably got some virtual classes you got to teach or something like that, or chase somebody down, and we appreciate you taking the time to meet with us today here on the 485 Sports Report. This has been Coach Carlos Richardson, Athletic Director, and right now Vance High School. By the end of the year, it's going to be Julius Chambers High School out in the university area. And for Coach Jay Alverson, I'm Mark Clemens. Thanks for joining us here on the 485 Sports Report.